Wali, on mind, body and soul to ride a fine steed, the magnificent healing power of Moxibustion, and learning to breathe the Buteyko way. But first, nurturing the goddess within. Listen to the words of the Great Mother, who of old was called Artemis, Astarte, Dione, Diana, and by many other names. For thousands of years, the concept of the goddess was revered and celebrated by cultures all over the planet. From the ample, motherly figurines of the Venuses of Willendorf and Lucelle, to the svelte, regal poise of Egypt's Isis. The goddess was a favorite of the people. To them, she was Mother Earth, bestower of abundance, life and joy. She was by turns gentle and powerful. Linked to the phases of the moon and the turning of the seasons, she represented all that was feminine. Some archaeologists and anthropologists believe that early societies, such as those in China, were matriarchal, meaning descendants were traced through the female bloodline. It's thought that males and females enjoyed equal status in these early times. But soon the tides turned, and with the coming of the solar calendar came a preference for the male god. The goddess was shunned and allocated to a subservient position. Then came the burning times, and for hundreds of years the beautiful rituals of the feminine archetype were driven underground and forgotten. Until now. In the early 1900s, with the uncovering of Egypt's treasures, the goddess showed her face again. People were inspired and began to rediscover her ways. By the 1950s, goddess worship was legalized again in the West. The modern goddess tradition was born. One of the most popular acts of modern goddess traditions is to gather as friends and celebrate the uniqueness and sacred spirit of each woman. The benefits of stopping to reflect, honor our current situation, and spend quality time with other women and ourselves allow better health and awareness of our needs. Gatherings can include sharing within the group on what is happening for each individual, allowing pent-up emotions and energy to be released, and the woman to be unburdened. To help relax, there are often pampering rituals, including foot massages, which can bond and ground the group. Understanding and connecting within ourselves can be accessed through meditation or guided visualizations by a facilitator or high priestess experienced in goddess practices, allowing women to go within and know themselves or receive messages from the goddess about their lives. Letting go of situations, people or objects that are obstructing happiness, transformation or knowledge is a common practice. Here, letting go is being done through writing the aspect of her life that the woman wants to let go of and voicing it while burning the paper and allowing the obstructions to literally go up in flames. Once letting go has occurred, guidance is sought. Here, the women are pulling goddess cards featuring different archetypes of goddesses from different cultures and times in history. Food can be an important part of a gathering, and the feast is blessed before people eat. The high priestess will often request certain types of food depending on the aims of the gathering. What do women get from the goddess traditions? Participants find that their personal well-being improves and a sense of empowerment emerges. They gain an understanding of themselves and other people. They may emerge from a gathering ready to face the world of household and business affairs by having retreated to a special place. Overall, the goddess offers tools for regeneration and encouragement to balance our lives. And let's not forget, it's heaps of fun being a goddess.
No, because when I later came out, I was like,
Some love their cars, some love their motorbikes, but it's hard to find a love as special as the one people have for their horses. In the Chinese zodiac, if you were born in the year of the horse, you are likely to be intelligent, independent, and have a free spirit. If horses have these qualities, no wonder people love them so much. In horse riding, the relationship between the horse and the rider is the most important factor in creating an enjoyable experience for both. Whether you're considering riding regularly or even buying a horse, or just going on a one-day trail ride, getting to know your horse may be the most interesting and rewarding part of your journey. As a fitness pursuit, horse riding takes two forms, trail riding and equestrian. Trail riding is the most suitable for beginners and involves riding usually with a group along a trail supervised by a guide. Trail rides can range from a 2-hour ride for relaxation to an adventure pursuit, such as a week-long camping and exploring trip in the mountains. As well as developing back and abdominal muscle tone and balance and coordination skills, trail riding provides the opportunity to be with the horse in a natural and often beautiful environment. You'll probably be pointed towards a friendly old horse for your first ride. Don't worry, most schools have a frisky steed in the back paddock for when you're ready to gallop. Equestrian riding takes place in a fenced space, such as a paddock or field. Beginners learn to ride and care for their horse, and then the skills for particular events such as dressage and show jumping. Dressage involves training the horse to perform natural movements such as walking and cantering upon request from the rider. While training and performing on a Lipizzaner stallion may be a little beyond your ambitions, horse and pony clubs are a great way for you to learn more about your horse and broaden your riding skills. All club members are allocated into one of 3 groups: beginners, intermediate, and advanced. All levels of experience are catered for. Instructors take riders through many different activities, including care and maintenance of your mount, jumping and cross-country riding. As well as being a learning experience, it's a great social event for you and your horse. Equestrian events are performance sports, and marks are awarded for technical competence, but also for grooming and posture. And not just for the rider. Owners, riders, and stable hands are all experienced in spending many hours preparing their horses to look elegant and well-groomed for the event. Equestrian riding is an elite event, with both Olympic and World Championship status. But it's increasingly becoming a sport for everyone, and is particularly enjoyed by those with disabilities or learning difficulties. Horse riding gives people with disabilities the opportunity to develop social skills as well as gain therapeutic benefit from the physical and mental activities involved. Riding has been shown to be beneficial for a range of people with disabilities, including those with cerebral palsy, spina bifida, Down syndrome, intellectual or learning disabilities, and people who are recovering from injuries and accidents. To even get up on a horse can be a joyous event for someone who may be excluded from other sporting activities because of physical limitations. For many, it's a dream come true. Moxibustion is a traditional Chinese medicine treatment that helps to dispel cold and damp from the body. If you suffer from aches and pains, colds and flus, or even poor digestion, Moxibustion can help to treat a wide range of conditions. So what exactly is involved in this therapy? Traditional Chinese medicine practitioner Matt Power has some great insights.
Moxibustion is the burning of a herb called mugwort. It's of the Artemisia genus. The herb is compressed into cigar-like rolls or used in its raw form, rice grain sized pieces directly on the skin in direct moxibustion to stimulate certain acupuncture points. When it's used in herbal medicine as a herb, it has a warming nature and a bitter and acrid flavour. The warming nature of it carries on to when you burn it, it warms the joints, and it warms the muscles, and it warms the meridians and the acupoints, allowing the qi and blood to move more freely. And by moving the qi and the blood, it gets rid of pain, which is one of the major reasons that it's used. Being bitter and acrid, it'll clear phlegm also, and damp, two very common problems in Chinese medical terms, so it's used quite frequently. Moxibustion can be considered a parallel therapy to acupuncture. You can use moxibustion or acupuncture quite commonly for the same things. By combining the two though, you can use the best of the acupuncture and the best of the moxibustion.
There are two forms of the therapy, direct and indirect moxibustion. But how exactly does this therapy work? Raw moxa can be burnt as rice grain size pieces directly on the acupoints to stimulate the function of the point. It can be burnt over the point as a moxa roll, indirectly warming the point and meridian. It can be placed in a moxa box to warm an area, such as the lower abdomen or back. It can be rubbed along the meridian in a tiger or lion warmer, or placed at the end of an inserted acupuncture needle to strengthen the stimulation of the acupoint. Direct moxibustion is used to stimulate specific points, or in scarring moxibustion where a point is burned so that it is continually stimulated by the healing process. Indirect moxibustion is used when a larger area such as a meridian or muscle group is being treated. It's also the preference in pediatric treatments and in special techniques such as burning moxa on ginger or salt. When used as an adjunct to acupuncture, moxibustion enhances treatment for many disorders. Conditions that can be treated include digestive disorders such as diarrhea or food stagnation, painful periods, sexual dysfunction, or poor concentration or memory. Sports injuries, frozen shoulders, and pain that worsens with cold can be treated as well. In short, in the hands of a skilled practitioner, there isn't much that moxibustion cannot treat. If you are a little worried about the burning aspect of the treatment, don't be. It's very safe when you're in the hands of a qualified and skilled practitioner of traditional Chinese medicine. Some points on the body are not suited to moxibustion due to the risk of swelling or dizziness. However, a skilled practitioner will be able to assess any risk factors before going ahead with any treatment. So if you're suffering due to the cold in any way, why not consider a moxibustion treatment? Get an acupuncture treatment at the same time and you'll feel so much more balanced, rejuvenated and healthy. Body odor can really ruin your day. Luckily, body odor is a universal experience and even revered in some cultures as an expression of the person's inner psyche. Generally, however, people prefer not to be too smelly, and manufacturers offer plenty of solutions to reduce body odor. The trick is to find solutions which are completely safe. Many manufactured antiperspirants and some deodorants contain aluminium chlorohydrate. This will usually range from 15 to 20% of the product. There is some research which suggests that aluminium chlorohydrate may have negative effects for the body, such as increasing the risk of breast cancer or Alzheimer's disease. The research is inconclusive from a scientific point of view, but why take the risk, particularly where antiperspirants are concerned? To understand the difference between antiperspirants and deodorants, we need to understand how body odor is produced. The cause is not the sweat itself, but bacteria on our skin which interacts with sweat to form fatty amino acids. Sweat itself is odorless, but these amino acids have an odor which is sometimes offensive. An antiperspirant aims to reduce the amount of sweat the body produces. A deodorant aims mainly to perfume the odor released by the combination of sweat and bacteria. The safest way to reduce body odor is to avoid antiperspirants altogether and choose an aluminium-free deodorant, which will usually be fragranced with essential oils such as lavender, tea tree or citrus. As well as being harmless, most aluminium-free deodorants use natural products which are gentle on the skin and are not tested on animals. Another option is a crystal bar, which uses natural crystal or mineral salts to form a barrier preventing sweat from interacting with the bacteria on the skin. The sweat is then washed away through normal washing. Crystal bars are cost-effective in that they usually last up to a year or so, and they're dry, which means the application is not sticky and there's no staining on clothes. Being gentle with your body in the following ways will also reduce the likelihood of body odor and keep you smelling sweet. Watch what you wear. Your body loves to breathe and will be happiest in natural fibers, which, as well as being comfortable, soft to touch and long-lasting, take sweat away from the body by absorption, thus interrupting the process which causes body odor. Eat clean and green. When it comes to diet, everyone is different and their body responds differently to the foods they ingest. There are, however, some foods that will have a high likelihood of producing sweat. For some, these may be onions, chilies and beer or caffeine, and sugars for others. Some research has shown that eating meat may increase body odor. Emphasizing vegetables and fruit in the diet rather than meats and dairy products provides for a cleaner digestive system. Pure water is the body's natural cleanser. It keeps the skin pores open and allows for the natural removal of sweat away from the body. Make water your drink of choice. There will be some moments in life when we can choose to just sweat it out without causing offense to ourselves or anyone else. Have some antiperspirant and deodorant-free days and see how you feel. You may be pleasantly surprised. Breathing sounds like something you cannot possibly get wrong, right? After all, we breathe to live, and inhaling and exhaling can't be too complicated. Well, what if you've been breathing incorrectly for all of these years? The good news is that you can learn to breathe correctly using the Buteyko breathing method. Buteyko isn't just for asthmatics. It's also useful for people that suffer from allergy-related breathing problems, obstructive sleep apnea, and other respiratory illnesses. Brigitte Bennett is a Buteyko practitioner.
The Buteyko breathing method is a drug-free way of managing and improving a number of respiratory illnesses. It does this through precise breathing exercises, which recondition the way we breathe and works best if practiced over a period of time.
So what causes poor breathing and why does Buteyko help? Well, some people lose too much carbon dioxide through habitual overbreathing or hyperventilation. This may have been brought on by an infection, allergy, prolonged exercising, or habitual mouth breathing.
When we lose too much carbon dioxide, certain chemical changes take place in our body which are perceived as negative changes, and the body's defense mechanisms are then trying to stop further loss of carbon dioxide by, for instance, narrowing the airways, producing mucus, or pausing your breathing every so often as you sleep. If you correct a person's poor breathing habits and give additional advice about diet, posture, exercise, and the use of certain medicines, then you can normalize the levels of carbon dioxide and stop those symptoms from happening.
So, what is a good breathing technique? It's pretty much as simple as the less breaths you take per minute, the better. The current consensus is that you shouldn't take more than 12 breaths a minute while at rest. Need some tips on how to breathe better? Remember to always keep your mouth shut when breathing. Never sleep on your back, and try to breathe less where possible.
Keeping your mouth shut and breathing through your nose means that you have smaller pipes to breathe in and out of. Sleeping on your back causes deeper breathing than sleeping on your side, as does overeating and oversleeping. Also, if you do exercise, any kind of exercise, and find that you're mouth breathing, stop and get your breathing under control so that you can resume nose breathing. A lot of people you'll find go for a walk with a girlfriend or boyfriend and they go yabba 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 yabba, and that's actually not what they should be doing. You should be going for your walk, nose breathing. You will actually find that the better you get, the further you can go. If you're an asthmatic and you start off and you've got a little hill, you might actually really have to slow down. If you're getting quite breathless, you have to stop, getting your breathing under control, and then go on again. It's kind of a gradual way of getting better. It's like building up muscle. You're just sort of building up the competency of your lungs to support your lifestyle.
The best part about Buteyko is that it's suitable for just about anyone. Once you've been correctly taught the techniques, you can even continue on with the treatment yourself. And you can always go back to your teacher if you need any help or revision. Buteyko is great for your health, even if you don't have any respiratory problems. After all, the ultimate benefit is better oxygenation of your whole body, and that's gotta be a good thing. Join us again on Mind, Body and Soul as we discover more paths to health and happiness. But for now, Dominique gives us some food for thought.
In Eastern philosophy, the fifth element is called akasha, or space. This is often overlooked in our busy lifestyle. Often when life's obstacles are becoming tight and frustrating, when you can't see a resolution clearly, the best thing to do is to take a step back. Put a little bit of space between you and the details of the issue, the story, the obstacle, whatever it is that you're facing. A little bit of space will often help you to come back with perspective, with clarity, and be able to tackle that without too much emotional heaviness in the way.